So our theme for 2026 is
Open at the top.
open at the top. Open at the top. Amy say that's good to hear. So before I get into our theme for May, let me do a check-in on your love work from last Sunday. Because remember, that love work was not just for that week. It's for the rest of your life. You'll remember that?
Yep.
All right. So we were taking a pause by taking 3 deep breaths before we respond to someone or something. Yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to ask ourselves, what would love do or say here?
Yep.
And then we're going to take action. Okay. And then the second thing was to recommit to our daily spiritual practice. So even if you can't do all the things in your spiritual practice, commit to doing at least one thing. And that will help you to be grounded and centered in who you are. Mm-hmm. So you're with me?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So this love work, this practice of choosing exactly what prepares us for this month. That love work prepares us for divine doubt. So our message today is doubt as devotion. So I included this quote by theologian Paul Tillich in our service flyer. He said, let me get the mic. He said, doubt is not the opposite of faith. It is one element of it. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. It is one element of faith. So we are not here to say that we have perfect faith. We are here to be present in our faith. And I love what Rev Jones says. She says, we're here to faith it out. Faith it out. So doubt can serve as a doorway for us to stand on faith. So let me ask a question. Have you ever experienced a moment in your life where you doubted? Not just like a passing thought. That's
silly question.
Jansen, that's a silly question. So we see that we're in good company, right? Everyone has experienced doubt in their lives at one point in time. So it's not a personal failure, right? It's a human experience to doubt. Who's familiar with the term doubting Thomas?
I am.
You're familiar? Cheryl's familiar. Do you know what that origin is? Doubting Thomas? Anyone know the origin of doubting Thomas?
I don't even know who Thomas is.
Amy said, I don't know Thomas. So Thomas was one of the disciples of Jesus.
Oh, yeah, got it.
And in the Gospel of John, we encounter this story, and it's oftentimes related to doubt. So Thomas, the apostle, missed the first appearance of Jesus after his resurrection. And the other disciples were saying, yo, Thomas, he alive, he resurrected. And Thomas was like, nah, man, nah. I didn't see it. I don't believe it, right?
Yep.
So then Jesus comes again, and this time Thomas is there. And Jesus is like, yo, I heard you don't believe I resurrected. Well, what here I am. So touch my hand, touch my side, touch all the wounds. Do you believe now? And Thomas said, my Lord and my God. And Jesus said to Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. And so Thomas got labeled as doubting Thomas. And so that's where that whole term comes from. But what if Thomas wasn't weak in faith, but honest in faith? He said he didn't believe what Joe was saying. right? He was being honest about his doubt. But he didn't like go off and move. He stayed. He stayed with the other disciples. He stayed in the conversation. He stayed open even in his doubt. So doubt became Thomas's doorway to deeper faith. Thomas was being called to believe before there was evidence, but he was struggling. Anyone can relate to that? You want to see the evidence and you're struggling. But he, like we, should not reject the truth. He was reaching for the direct experience of truth itself. So in our teachings, we know that what is seen is first formed in the unseen. We know that everything is created in the invisible. Do you have faith in the invisible? Sometimes we have more faith in the visible than we do in the invisible. Another Bible verse. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So in our teachings, we would translate that to the law of cause and effect. Yes? Because the invisible becomes visible. The cause becomes the effect. So there was a time in my life where I had my own doubts about God. Yes, believe it, I did. And it wasn't about if God existed or not. I always believed in God. But it was about doubting who I was being told God is, right? So I grew up in this image of God who judged every single little thing that I did, from wearing pants to having my ears pierced, wearing nail polish, going to the movies. God was keeping a list of everything that I did, right? And I was scared. I was scared. Let me tell you a quick story. My aunt snuck us to the movies to see Jaws, right? So I was like maybe 11 or something like that. And we're sitting there watching the movie. It was so good, right? And then all of a sudden I feel this vibration, right? And I'm like, oh my God, God is coming back and I'm sitting in the movie theater. I'm going to hell, right? What had really happened was the movie theater was right next to the L train. So the train was going by and the building was vibrating from the train. That's the God that I believed in growing up. He had his naughty and nice list. We called him Santa Jesus. And I was pretty fearful. And asking questions wasn't allowed. But I asked, because you know me. Even as a child, I had a little rebellious streak in me, believe it or not. But no one would answer my questions. I would usually get, because I said so, or you're a child. Be quiet. Stay in a child's place. Right? But I kept wondering, how could God be love and be so angry all the time? And why is he keeping a score about everything that I do? How could I truly be one with the divine when he's just up in the sky and I have to wait until the by and by to have a relationship directly with it? And the more questions I asked, the more in trouble I got. Until I reached that age where I could tell my mother without getting hit upside the head, I'm not going to church. I'm not going. And that took me, that doubt about who was supposed to believe God is, that doubt led me on my spiritual journey. It brought me into spaces where I began to hear new ideas about God. It brought me to teachers like Eric Butterworth, and it began to expand my understanding of God. And it clicked because I was like,
I think it's where the battery's from.
this is the God, the one that is within me. Yes, that is the God of my understanding. Even as a child, I had a knowingness of that. That God is not separate, God is not punishing me, and that God is not keeping the score. But that God is life itself. That God is life itself, expressing as me and expressing as you, as all of creation. So the mic keeps going out. So I'm going to put it down, and hopefully y'all can still hear me. So we could see how doubt could serve as a doorway. Yes? Doubt is part of the sacred movement of faith. So doubt is temporary. Doubt is temporary. It's not who we are. It is a threshold. So a moment where old beliefs begin to loosen so that deeper truth can emerge. Just like my old image of God began to dissolve for a truer connection to arise. So your doubt, whatever you may be feeling doubt about right now, is already dissolving by your faith. It's already dissolving through your faith. So let me ask this question. So you thought about a time where you experienced doubt. Everyone has that time in mind? Okay. What did you do? What did you do?
Worried.
Believed.
You believed the doubt.
Yes.
All right. Let me ask another question. Whatever you were worried about, Amy, whatever you were believing, Joan, what did that doubt make possible in your life?
It made things worse.
Amy said it made things worse. And then keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't stop there at the worst. We keep going.
Yeah, it just got worse and worse and worse.
And then it blew up.
I don't know where to go.
So I know something happened because you're here.
Right.
Right? And oftentimes we don't see doubt as a dotted line that gets connected when we have moved through whatever that challenge was. But it's all connected. All of the things that we went through, all of the things that Joan believed when she was doubting, led Amy, led all of us to where we are today. So if we can remember, this is what I often say to myself when I'm going through things. Let me remember a time when I was going through stuff. And what was the end result? What was the effect? Eventually, when I kept moving forward, even in my doubt, even in my worry, even when things blew up, even when it looked like I will never recover from this, here I am. Here I am. So the next time it happens, because it's life. What do they say? Life be lifing, right? But the other part of that is God be Godding, right? So we keep moving forward. We keep moving forward because devotion to moving forward, having devotion even when we're feeling doubt, when we are experiencing doubt, devotion tells us that don't stop because you believe that this is a certainty. This is not a certainty. Being uncomfortable with uncertainty is a strength. It is a power. Devotion reveals something when we just keep showing up. That's why our daily spiritual practice is a practice of showing up for ourselves in our commitment to our relationship with the divine. Even when we're questioning, it's okay to question God. When I was a child, that didn't come up in Sunday school. So we keep praying, even when we're unsure, even when we're in those moments between doubt and divine. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
That is a sign of spiritual maturity. So we see this in Thomas the Apostle, and we saw that in little Melissa. But doubt itself isn't the problem. It's when we get stuck in doubt, right? When we build a house and we live in it. Doubt is meant to move us into questions, into answers, into faith. So one of my favorite Bibles, I have two. One is my grandmother's, and one is the Life Application Bible. And the reason why I like the Life Application Bible is because it gives definitions in today's terms, right? It's no begetting, begotten, and all that. It's like our language. So I looked up doubt. And doubt is defined as this. Doubt encourages rethinking, the renewal of our mind, right? Doubt was never meant to be a permanent condition. Doubt is one foot lifted, poised to step forward or backwards. There is no motion until the foot comes down. Don't overstay your welcome with doubt. And share your doubt with a trusted, optimistic friend who knows faith. Don't share doubt with a doubter. You're going to get more doubt, and even worse than that. So we share with a trusted, optimistic friend who also knows the power of faith. Silent doubt rarely finds answers. I love that. Silent doubt rarely finds answers. So we need each other in our times of doubt. We need our community, yes, in times of doubt. And Ernest Holmes puts it this way in The Science of Mind. I know that faith within me now neutralizes all doubt. Let's anchor that. Repeat after me. And let's take a breath. I know that faith within me, I know that faith within me now neutralizes all doubt.
Now neutralizes
all doubt. Yes. So let's bring it even closer to home, because divine doubt is just not a personal thing. It's also a collective experience. So when we look at the world today, when we witness injustice, indifference, division, uncertainty, it would be easy to let doubt turn into despair. And I know a lot of people are feeling despair. But what if this too is a sacred threshold? Remember thinking about a time when it seemed like everything was going to blow up, and yet you are here? We could do that with this whole situation as well. So what if the discomfort and sometimes disgust, because sometimes, y'all, I am just disgusted with what is happening in this country again, right? Again. So if you're feeling disgusted, it's not a signal to withdraw. It's not a signal to go crawl under a rock, to put your head in the sand. It's not a signal for that. It is a signal that calls us deeper into our faith. into the truth of who and whose we are. All of us. I love John Lewis, and I love that he is known for the term to get into good trouble, right? Now, John Lewis had his angry moments, y'all, as did Martin Luther King, as did Gandhi, as did Mother Teresa. We want to, frame these people as never having doubt or challenges or being upset, but they had their moments, right? But they were grounded in love, in truth, and in spiritual conviction. So divine doubt invites us to question what is. What is? We're seeing a lot of the seen. We're seeing a lot of the visible. But what is? What is the invisible. That is where we create from. So if we create from a place of despair, what will be the outpicturing of that? If we create from a place of greed, what will be the outpicturing of that? If we create from a place of hate, what will be the outpicturing of that? So we get to participate in what can be. And what can be. The invisible into the visible. So we remain in good trouble and of good courage, trusting that even when we do not see justice fully expressed, we are called to believe, to know, to embody, to act from that truth anyway. So faith is not passive. Faith is fierce, just like love is. Faith is active, just like love is. Faith moves us through love into action. So the next time, and there will be a next time, more than likely, that you find yourself in doubt, take this advice from Prophet Ice Cube. He said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yes? Yes. Yes. So what if doubt is not a detour, but a doorway? What if your questions are guiding you into a deeper relationship with truth, with love, with the divine, with source, with you? With you. So what if this moment, anyone who is going through a moment of doubt, what if this moment is not about weakening your faith, but about refining it, tuning it, making it into something that is extraordinary? So this is your love work for this month. So we got what we're doing for the rest of our lives, and now we're adding on for this month. I just want you to notice, just pay attention when doubt is present. What does it feel like? What thoughts are accompanying it? Just notice it like an observer. Be a witness to it. And then just ask yourself, what belief is being invited to evolve through me? What belief, what knowingness is being invited to evolve through me? What if we think about doubt as serving that purpose? You're going to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's anchor this with affirmative prayer. I just invite you to go within, take a breath. Let us know together that there is one life, one presence, one infinite intelligence expressing itself as all creation. And that I recognize this presence as truth, as the very essence of my being. I recognize it as me. It is not separate from me. It's not separate from you. It's not withholding from me. It's not withholding from you. It is not waiting to judge me. It is living, breathing, expressing right here and right now, as me, as us, as all. And in this awareness, I embrace the fullness of my spiritual journey. I embrace even the moments of uncertainty, even the questions, even what we have called doubt. For I know now that doubt is not a detour. Doubt is a sacred movement within faith itself. Just as Thomas the apostle questioned and yet stayed open and yet received a deeper revelation, I too am willing to stay present, stay open, and stay devoted. So when I do not see the evidence, I release the need to see it, to believe it. And I step into the truth of spiritual knowing. Knowing and believing is the seed, and seeing is the harvest. So I know that the law of cause and effect is always in operation, that the thoughts I think, the beliefs I hold, the words I speak set creative power into motion. And so I choose now consciously to align with faith, faith in the unseen, faith in the unfolding, faith in the divine intelligence that is always guiding me. I declare that what is emerging in my life is not random. It's not accidental or coincidental. It is God, source, the breather of my breath. It is the very expression of an invisible truth already set in motion. So even when I cannot see it, even when you cannot see it, trust. Even when you cannot touch, know. Even when you walk through the threshold of doubt, remain anchored in faith. Know that doubt is temporary, but truth is eternal. I affirm that my faith is deepening now, expanding now, and being more embodied now. I am growing into a greater awareness of who I am and whose I am. I am no longer waiting for proof. I am living from knowing. And in this knowing, I give thanks. I give thanks for the journey. I give thanks for the unfolding. I give thanks for the doubt and the way it has served me and brought me here, brought you here into a deeper, richer, more intimate experience with the divine. So I release this word with gratitude in my heart. I release this word into the law. I release this word into love, knowing it is activated and it is already done. And those who know the truth say, and so it is.
And so
And so it is. Peace and blessings, everybody.